Hey everyone, who in the heck does this Gerald Butts guy think he is? I mean, really, that's Justin Trudeau's main advisor. So it's like, wow. Is it now we don't really know who to blame for all of his gaffes, all of his idiotic habits and behaviors, or that deer in the headlight moment that he seems to have on a continual ongoing basis, right? What is that? Is that Trudeau? Or is that Mr. Drama teacher or drama student trying to actually put a big show on for his fellow like-minded friend, Gerald Butts? And I don't know if you've seen a picture of this guy. Like I say, okay, you can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't judge a person solely on just what they look like, but yeah, I'm seeing a picture of it right now. This Gerald Butts guy. Like, really? This is the kind of guy, like I say, you want to know what when people talk about fascists or authoritarian socialists or communists, these are people, like I say, and I've said this in past videos, a strong, an authoritarian dictator, like I said, you'll see or hear them coming from a mile away. These people, the truly devious, the most inept, the most authoritarian among us, the ones that, maybe sit home, laying in bed at night, jacking off to the very concept, the very idea of actually gaining some position of power or stature. Like I say, a genuinely strong person, they might seek more power, but they already have a power dominance type of trait. So like I say, you can see them from a mile away. It's the ones that have never had any power attributed to them. And they've recognized in their personal lives and, in their work lives and their social lives that they have no power. But if they get into politics, right, and gain the big, gigantic gun in the room, right, because government represents a monopoly on force and violence and threats thereof. So when you get these people, like you get the 98-pound weakling yielding that big, gigantic gun in the room, well, like I say, look at all the times, even some of those mass murderers that people talk about all the time. Look at those people that carried out those murders. Were they a big, strong, independent type of male? Like a really, really conservative type person? Or were they just a really fucked up person that, were inept or couldn't handle being around women or other people or being in social activities? Like I say, these are socially awkward individuals, which predominantly would be what you see out in the landscape are people that identify as leftists. And those are the people that, like I say, they don't look as scary because, like look at Trudeau. The guy wears fucking pink, purple, like pride-colored socks. He actually holds his legs together, which I'm not the kind of guy to make fun of other guys. He might have a small penis. He might not have very big balls. As a matter of fact, actually, looking at Trudeau, it's like, even though he's in his 40s, maybe they haven't even dropped yet. I don't fucking know, right? I can't make any excuses or reasons behind this stuff. But like I say, the people that are always worried about, the right-wingers, listen, you'll see them coming and you'll hear them. Matter of fact, you'll feel the ground trembling beneath you or rumbling beneath you when they're coming. They'll announce it because they're not scared of you, right? So they're going to come at you. Matter of fact, they might even send a few people off in advance and let you know, we're coming. You better get fucking prepared. It's these people. These fucking Gerald Butts types, right? That want to call everyone else Nazis because what? You won't fall in line with accepting whether you want to call it a joke or a gaffe or the political narrative put forth and where they're trying to put a backstop against basically the whole world making fun of Trudeau and his people kind remark, his people kind comment, and his mansplaining. That's the thing, these leftists, they're so inept in so many ways. Like, holy fuck, you're supposed to pretend that you're all about being a feminist and stand up for women's rights and women are strong. But meanwhile, what'd you do, Trudeau? You fucking mansplained to a woman, right? And you did it, and you interjected such a ridiculous fucking word that doesn't even exist. So just pure, like I say, these virtue signaling motherfuckers. Like I say, a lot of the people that would consider themselves conservatives, they call them betas or cucks. And you know what? That is a very descriptive way of kind of painting a mental picture. And you know what? The reason why it works is because if the shoe fits, right? Anyways, let me get into this article. It's out of the Daily Wire. Trudeau advisor labels all critics of people-kind remark as Nazis. Shapiro must be surprised, right? You know, Ben Shapiro, he's a contributor to the Daily Wire. Yeah, he must be surprised considering he's a Jew. Calling people like Ben Shapiro a Nazi, right? It's like, and I think he's what? I think they did some big study or whatever, and it's like Ben Shapiro is actually #1 on the list as far as being attacked by anti-Semites and real Nazis, right? But he's the kind of guy that would go completely against Gerald Butts and Trudeau's narrative, but yet they want to paint everyone that goes against them as Nazis. So gay people, you know, women now, Jews, like, didn't you get the memo? Gerald Butts sent it out to everybody, but I mean, holy fuck, he's inept. His whole crew's inept. So if you didn't get the memo, I understand, but the whole thing is everybody's a Nazi. Didn't you know? If you're not part of the leftist collectivist types, if you're not part of that group, that collective, the rest of you, you're all Nazis. So inept. Such a failure. Like I say, they don't even know how to put together a genuine political strategy, so they constantly delve into the identity politics narrative. Because it's like, well, hey, in our bag of tricks, hey, our collectivist bags of tricks, we're all out. The only thing we got left is this one called identity politics. Well, let's use it until it wears out, right? Which it will happen. And as we're seeing, they're already eating their own. So at some point, they'll all be standing there like, oh shit, we really fucked up. Because not only were we authoritarians and caused a lot of pain and strife for people that we perceived as our opponents, we fucked everyone up that were even supposed to be on our side. So now we're here standing all alone with a big giant target on our backs, our heads. On Thursday morning, after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had been widely mocked for his remark the previous Friday in which he corrected a young woman's use of the word mankind, instructing her to say people-kind, Trudeau's senior advisor, Gerald Butts, took to Twitter to blast critics of Trudeau, calling them alt-right Nazis. Like I say, well, they know that they're losing the information game. They're losing in the battle for the minds of the masses because they can't control the narrative. You know, in the old days, they could. Before social media and the internet era come to fruition, well, they could completely dominate and control whatever you heard. They could put forth and present all these opinions and dialogues and narratives, and even when you have like all these expert panels sitting up on the stage and they can pretend that they're all disagreeing with each other, but in reality, when they're all said and done, it's like, hey, you want to go out for a drink? Hey, this week, yeah, or this few years, yeah, you liberals can have power, but hey, it's our turn in 4 years, right? And, you know, hey, the NDP's over here like, hey, come on, guys, give us a little bit of power sometimes. Come on. A little bit, just a little bit. I know we don't deserve to sit at the big table with the rest of you, the libs and the conservatives, but come on, throw us a bone here. And this is what happens with these central planners, these authoritarians. They all come together, and regardless of which wing of that particular bird, which side of that particular coin, right? They're all authoritarians seeking to be in positions of authority, or a pretense of authority, or power over you, and being able to rob and plunder your income or your productive wealth anytime they want, as long as they can gain that seat of power and make you think that they only have your best interest in mind. Oh, it's all about benevolence, never about power for them. No, they're the only people on the whole planet that are all about just being purely benevolent. But yet, look at them as a person. Look at them as an individual. Do they seem like they're really that kind of person? No, of course not. They're showing a screen capture from Gerald Butts' Twitter account with the big blue check mark. So this is him. The lesson to take from this joke being torqued by InfoWars and other alt-right Nazi friends of the rebel is they're paying attention. Game on. Hashtag Team Trudeau. Holy shit. It sounds so much like, I mean, listen, I'll defend the 98-pound weakling, but not if the 98-pound weakling was standing on the beach saying, I'll fuck all you fuckers up, man. Come at me, bitches. Like, wait a minute, you're kind of overstepping your bounds there, dude. You're kind of like trying to punch way above your weight. And by Gerald Butts, this, I don't know, he might be a feminist himself. He looks quite effeminate. He looks like a fragile man, at least. But he's out there trying to talk smack, right? And trying to put on the big front and telling Trudeau, hey, get out there. Yeah, do this, do this. Of course, he'd be too cowardly to do it himself. And, you know, watch as this unfolds. And so far, I'm not hearing him. He's like, let me hide in the corner somewhere. Hey, wait a minute. What was that closet that Harper hid in when the guy had come to attack the Parliament building there in Ottawa? Is that a secure place? Send me there. I need a safe space too. Like I say, you got no one that's bold. There's no genuine leadership here in Canada. Come on. They're a bunch of parasites, collectivists. And like I said, even Shearer and his conservative hacks, they're showing time again. They got no they can't stand on principle. They're scared to death of it. Principles. What do you mean by this thing called principles? What are you, a Nazi? Like I say, that escapes anything that's jammed in their head. They're like, principles. Aren't we just supposed to sell a narrative? Aren't we just supposed to be marketeers for our political tribe, for our political gang, for our political team, right? For our collective? What do you mean principles? The only principles that matter is winning at all costs, at all expense. Now, we're not going to pay the cost, and we're definitely not going to pay the expense. But hey, if we're good snake oil salesmen, we'll get everyone else to do that for us. But ultimately, we want to be in position of power, and we'll do whatever is necessary to get there. Machiavellian, but in the modern world, a feminist Machiavellian, I guess, right? Where it's like, I'm scared of power, but man, do I ever seek to take the helms and grasp that power. Don't know what I'll do with it, because I've never had it before. In reality, it's kind of outside my comfort zone, but I like the idea. It smells good. Sounds good. Among those who had tweeted Trudeau for his politically correct nonsense was Daily Wire editor-in-chief Ben Shapiro. Showing another screen capture of a Ben Shapiro tweet now. Justin Trudeau is what would happen if the song Imagine took human form and then ate a Tide Pod. Ben, he's always good for a laugh. Smart, too. Could you imagine him going up against any of these dipshits? Gerald Butts or Trudeau? You think Trudeau does a good job of his own, or with his advisor making him look like an idiot? Ben Shapiro would do that times 100, right? I would say Trudeau is as dumb as a mop, but at least you can use the mop to clean up messes. Like I say, good one. And then below that, we got Sheila Gunn Reid chiming in. Someone more aware of recent history than Butts pointed out that his lumping together of all critics of Trudeau as Nazis was rather ill-informed. The PM's chief advisor thinks our alt-right Nazi friends who are making fun of his boss for his people-kind gaffe include the person most frequently targeted by the internet alt-right, Ben Shapiro. Our national embarrassment continues. Like I say, I'll post a link to this article in the description of the video below, but I mean, come on. Like I say, these fuckers, they're playing from that collectivist handbook, right? And they've run it, they've used up all the tenets of collectivism, of cultural Marxism. They're down to now, it's like, well, all we got left, the only thing that we have to throw now is in our big bag of goodies, although not much good about them, to be honest with you. But all we got left now is identity politics, is divide and conquer. So, hey, if that's all you got, right? Just like if all you got in your tool belt is a hammer, well, everything at that point better start looking like a nail, right? And that's basically what the leftists are stuck with at this point, at this junction, is just using identity politics and hoping that divide and conquer will prevent anyone else from being able to slip up the middle and challenge all that propaganda, all those collective narratives, and actually pull back the blinds and reveal and shine a big light on all these inept collectivists, whether they're from the right or the left, although what we're seeing in Canada is it's left, and almost left. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.